Hi, I'm Scott Perdue, and today we're going to talk about parachutes. Courtesy of FlyWire Online, we're producing these videos so we can use them in the Eagle Flying Museum's training program. And one of the most important things if you're going to come and do aerobatics or upset recovery with EFM is we're going to go upside down. And that means that you need a parachute. So we have two kinds. We have a softy here and we have a strong. And I'm going to show you a little bit about the parachutes and what they are, kind of an orientation to the parachute and how to put it on and how to operate it. So this is the softy right here. This is the back part of the parachute right here. And this is the inspection tag and list when it was last inspected. If you're interested in that, I keep track of that. So, and I'm going to be your, probably going to be your chief instructor. We might have another instructor available, but this is the chutes operate the same way. It doesn't matter who's flying the airplane. But we take care of this. The repack date's 180 days. That's what the FAA requires. So this is a backpack style parachute right here. This goes over your shoulders. This is the chest strap. This is the D-ring. This is how you deploy the parachute. We'll show you more about that in a second. These are the leg straps. They go around your leg for both sides, okay? So that is the basic softy parachute. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this thing on right now. Okay, I'm gonna put this on right now. And what I wanna do is I wanna be a little bit careful about how I do this, because if you pull this handle, then it only has to go about that far, and it's going to disengage the little pin that holds the parachute in. You don't want to do that. That would be bad. On the good bad scale, that's what I call bad. Okay, the leg straps right here, they have a little, the clips are like this, where they lock in. There's a little ball bearing in there with a spring on it that locks them in. So to open them, you have to pull them open like that, and then that will eject the D-ring. So that's how they work. And what you want to do is make sure they're not twisted. They go around your leg like this, and I'm not going to help you with this. You're going to have to figure out what this length is and then hook it up yourself. The whole objective of this is that it's tight, okay? And I know that's maybe a little uncomfortable, and I apologize for that, but the reality is that when you, if you ever had to use a parachute, you want it to be tight, because otherwise it's going to jerk you really hard in your groin area. Not to get too much more technical than that, but that's it. That's why you want it to be tight. Chest strap. And this uses just a friction lock. It's not a fancy one. We just feed it back and through. And then, again, I want this to be fairly tight. And then there's a little rubber band right here. I tuck it in the rubber band, and I'm wearing the parachute. And how you want it to fit, this is what it looks like right here. This is a thin one, about as thin as we could get for the purpose. But you want it to fit where it kind of makes it more comfortable to lean over like this. That means it's just about the right tightness. If you stand straight up, it's pulling here and it's pulling here. And if it's loose and comfortable, if you stood straight up, that means the opening shock is going to be harder on you. Okay, so anyway, that's how it looks when you have it on. And how we operate this parachute is, we'll have another video where we'll talk about how to get out of the airplane. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to crawl out the door, and I'm the instructor, so I'm going to be sitting in the right seat. You'll be sitting in the left. And that means it's my responsibility to open the door, get rid of the door, and then crawl out. It's your responsibility to get out and follow me, okay? That's the important point. And how we decide this is we say the word bailout 3 times. Bailout, bailout, bailout. And if that word is said in the cockpit, we never say the word bailout in the airplane unless we're going to do it. Okay, it's like saying the F word in front of your mom. You just don't do it unless you have to. And if we have to, then it's serious. Everything else, forget everything else, okay? You unbuckle your seatbelt, throw off the shoulder harness and the straps and all that stuff, the harness, and then your headset, throw that down on the ground. Get rid of all that stuff, because the headset's just going to keep you in the airplane or jerk a knot in your neck, okay? So when the word bailout happens, that's what you do. Is you concentrate on release your seatbelt, get rid of the shoulder straps, and get rid of the headset, okay? I'm going to be, as the instructor, or whoever your instructor is going to be opening the door, and they're going to be crawling out, okay? They're going to get rid of the door. The door actually comes off. And they're going to get rid of the door, and they're going to crawl out. And what you want to do is you crawl off the wing, hands and knees, or just pulling yourself along, and you dive off the trailing edge of the wing before the horizontal. Whatever kind of configuration's going, I mean, or you're spinning or whatever's happening with the airplane, that's what you work at, is to pull yourself out and then dive off the trailing edge of the wing. Once you're off the trailing edge of the wing, you're in the air, you might be tumbling, you might be spinning around and stuff like that. It happens. So how do we fix that? Well, you do it by doing this, you know, and throw your head up like that, okay? Now what's going to do is no matter what position you're in, this is going to give you maximum drag, if you will, to the air. And if you hold your head up like this, you're going to stabilize, okay? Whatever you're going to do, you might end up in a slight bit of a spin, but you're going to stabilize. And then you reach over right here, you feel for it, you grab the handle, okay? And when you're ready to pull it, you want this to happen about 3 to 5 seconds or so after you've left the airplane. You don't want to impact the airplane or anything. You don't want to be in a hurry unless you're close to the ground, because it does take about 200 to 300 feet for you to get a full chute. Okay, so stabilize like this. You reach over with your handle. I'm not going to do it right now because this is a good chute and it's just recently packed. I'm not going to spread it across the ground, okay? What you do is you pull it out back like this, okay? And then you can either hold it or let it go. I'd say just let it go. You just pull it out and let it go, forget it. Because you want to fully inflate the chute, fully give it to every chance it's got to have to open, and then you're going to brace for opening shock. And it's going to happen, and it's going to pop you like this, and once you do, you're going to swing a little bit and you look at the chute and it looks good, nice, great big round canopy. Then grab the risers, they're going to be right up here, and you can hold the risers, okay? Now if you can, you want to grab the rear risers, and you're going to spin or turn. You can actually turn the chute around doing this to go where you need to go, okay? And what you want to do is figure out where the wind is. If you've got enough time, you look for where the wind is and you want to turn into the wind. And basically how that works is you look down between your feet, and if the ground's going this way, then you want to turn into the wind that way so the ground goes slower. Basically that's what you're looking for. Into the wind's your best shot, okay? Makes your slowest forward speed, because you're going to go down and forward, and it's probably about 8 or 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour or something like that. This is a little bit different chute than we used to use in the military, but in the military it gives you about 8 to 10 miles an hour forward speed. Okay, the C9 chutes. This is a little bit different, but not too. So you steer with the rear risers. Okay, now when you're getting close to the ground at about 300 feet or so, what you get is ground rush. All of a sudden now the ground's going to seem like it's coming up to you real fast, and it is. So bring your feet and knees together like this, point your feet, and kind of point your toes like that. Your feet and knees together and point your toes. Okay, how that looks is like this. This is going to be a little painful in the parachute. You want to do it, okay? Do it. Feet and knees together and point your toes. And then when you hit the ground, what you want to do is just be spring-loaded to fall off to one side, okay? You're not going to stand up. Don't worry about that. It's called a parachute landing fall, a PLF. And when you hit the ground, you just roll off to one side. Doesn't matter, left or right. It doesn't matter. So first the calves, and then the thighs, and then your butt, and then you're on the ground, okay? Now you have to worry about, is the wind blowing high enough to keep the canopy inflated? If it is, what you want to do is deflate the canopy. And these emergency parachutes, unlike the military ones we had, they don't have quick release fittings, so you're attached to the parachute as long as you're wearing this harness. So grab the riser and pull it to you, okay? If you're on the ground, you pull the top riser and spill that air out. and then that'll stop you from dragging. If the wind's hard enough to drag you on the ground, that's a bad thing. Okay, so that's if you're landing in a nice open field. What if you're landing in the water? Well, try steering. You know, get away from, don't land in the water if you can, avoid it. You don't know how deep it is, and if it's too deep, well then it's going to be hard to tread water, because we're typically not equipped for flying over water, so we don't have PFDs, personal flotation devices. So your best thing is to steer for the ground. Okay, if you do end up in the water, it's the same kind of entry, okay, and then try to collapse the canopy as quick as you can, tread water as you can, collapse the canopy, pulling on one riser, and the one when you want to pull is in the water, not on top of the water, not outside. So it's not the top, it's the bottom, because otherwise you're going to try to spill all the water in the chute, and that's not going to work. You're not going to be strong enough. Okay, so that's water. Get out of the harness, swim towards shore. If you got to, take your shoes off, and it works better. Your feet work better as flippers. Let's see, if you're going to land in trees, then it's kind of the same thing, feet and knees together, okay? But this time I want you to put your hands on the riser and then turn to the side, because otherwise the branches are going to hit your face. They're going to hit your chin. It just sticks out there just perfectly to get zapped by a limb. Best thing, don't do that. Put your hands on the risers and turn this way. And the odds are the chute's going to get caught in a tree, hopefully, but you want to be ready for that PLF, that parachute landing fall, with your feet and knees together and your toes pointed. Okay, so let's see. That's really about the extent of using the parachute. I want you to focus. If you ever had to do this, hopefully this is not going to be a problem. Just an entertaining video for you to watch. But if you ever had to do it, just remember: you crawl out, you let yourself go. Seatbelts, headset, throw it away, and crawl out of the airplane. Dive off the trailing edge of the wing. Stabilize, okay? When you're stabilized, about 3 to 5 seconds, reach over like this, feel for it. It's going to be right here. You grab it and then pull right back up here, throw it away, because you're going to want opening shock to grab the risers and then steer into the wind, whatever direction the wind is going, okay? You don't want to go with the wind, because now you're going faster. And then you want to be ready for the fall. About 300-ish feet, you're going to get ground rush, feet and knees together, toes pointed, holding onto the risers, hit the ground, and then fall off to one side. Doesn't matter, left or right, that absorbs most of the shock, using your legs as a shock absorber, and gets rid of that descent impact. Spill the chute, get out of the harness, and chill. Because it was a hell of a ride, right? Okay, so that's using the parachute, and appreciate you watching this. Before we do that, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them of your instructor when you get ready to ride. Take it off this way, grab the D-rings, connect it, and you are done with the softy. And what are the differences between this one and the softy? This is the back of the strong parachute right here. Notice it says strong, in case you forget. This is the front of it. This has actually got a little bit of a chair thing for you to sit in. It probably makes the opening shock and the ride down a little bit better. This is an aerobatic style of harness. It's got D-rings right here. The snaps like this. And in this one, the inspection sticker is down here, inspection record, and these thread through that and then across your body. And we'll show you how this puts on here in just a second. So let's put this one on. Okay. Again, the D-rings are always on the left side, or on the left side for these two that I have. This is basically a brand new chute, so it's a little stiff. want to slide my arm in, do it this way, elbow first. And I'm real careful about that because I don't want to get anywhere near this D-ring. That's all bad, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leg straps, this is the left one, I'm going to feed it through this little loop right there, and that's going to come to this opposite side. Sometimes you got to swing it up to get it around. Take the loop through the loop right there. And then if you have to release a little bit, this is where you do it. Lean over and get it snapped. All right. So there we have it. This is a little tighter than the other one because of the chest strap, but with the seat belt going right here, it should fit you a little bit better. This is what it looks like in the back. And when you sit down in the seat, this gives you a little bit of extra cushion for you to do that. Anyway, that's how it looks. So fundamentally, this is the same thing. This is the same kind of chute, just the harness is a little bit different. And like I said, if you have to lean over like this to be comfortable, you know you got the chute fit right. If you stand up like this and it hurts, well, that's it. So again, once you're in the air, you throw your arms and your legs out like this. You reach over and find the D-ring. There it is. Pull it up here, throw it away. And then wait for opening shock. And then you're in the same situation. So that is the Strong 305 that we use. That's the fun part. Do this and take care of the leg straps so they don't bang around and stuff like that. And that's, you're good to go. Slide out of it, be careful of that D-ring, and then you have donned and doffed the Strong 305 parachute. If you have any questions again, let me know. Thanks a lot, and we look forward to flying with you.